Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Breakfast Buddies. And today we have Beth with us again. Hi, Beth.
Good morning. It's
Good
so great to
morning.
be back. It felt weird not doing it yesterday, but yesterday I was actually in the building because we were interviewing to fill a part-time youth worker post, and we've actually employed someone. His name is Sean. He has just recently moved from Canada, so that is really exciting, and he's going to be joining us in May, so that'll be really great. So
Oh,
keep an eye out for
fantastic.
Sean.
It's
Hopefully
lovely
he'll
to
join us for
hear.
our breakfast buddies.
Yeah, that's going to be really fun. It's nice to have a new team member now.
Yeah.
It's like a big unit again. But yes, and Lindsay, how are you today?
Not too bad, thank you, Rick. Just a bit tired. How are you feeling?
Yeah, not too bad at all. So, as you guys may or may not know, we're going to be talking about our internal weather. We basically talk about the weather in reflection to how we feel today. So, for example, for me, today I feel quite sunny. Definitely no chance of wind. I feel like it's going to be a good day today. I don't think it's going to go bad, and my mood's in a good place today. What about you, Lindsay? What about your internal weather?
I feel quite cloudy today. Like the sun hopefully will break through. Um, yeah, it feels a bit like a storm was going on last night.
Mm.
So feeling a bit tired. Hopefully the day gets better as it goes on. I can see the sun shining a bit outside, so
Oh, good.
hopefully.
And what about you, Beth? How are you feeling today?
So today I'm trying to one up myself every time I do this. I'm trying to think of like a more interesting thing, like, oh, what am I today? So today I'm feeling like rain after a really hot day. So like,
Ooh,
you know, our summers where it's like boiling hot and then we have that one day of where it's like peeing it down rain.
yeah.
That's what I'm feeling like today. Yesterday was a really busy day for us. We were doing interviews. It was at the yard from very early in the morning till about 6:30. So it
Oh,
was a
wow.
really long day yesterday, but now the rain's come. I'm feeling refreshed, ready to go today. So
Oh, that's amazing. So it's kind of like you're having that reset day of
reset.
like, okay, let's just get rejuvenated again, and then the sun will come out and you'll be blooming everywhere.
Exactly.
That's amazing. I need to get more creative. That's really good the way you're doing it.
I won't lie, before I come on, I sit and think for a minute, what can I, what internal weather am I today?
Um, but yes, so usually we talk about national holidays. Yesterday, we didn't really find anything, but today I noticed it's National Tea Day. So
Ooh.
we used to be called Tea and Toast instead of Breakfast Buddies, and I was wondering, do you guys like having a cup of tea or coffee or anything like that for a hot drink?
Coffee.
Yeah. What
Coffee.
about you,
Yeah, I couldn't live without it, I'll be honest.
Beth?
Keeps me going.
Yeah, I'm not a tea drinker. I'm more of a coffee person. I've got to show you all. I don't know whether you might have seen this before. Someone has made this like chart. You might have
Yeah.
seen it with like tea or coffee, and it's like different
Mm.
colours, and it shows like you have to be like, oh, I like mine like that. Let me see if I can find it. It's
Uh,
really here it is. You like tea, don't you, Rachel?
yeah, I love tea. I like the typical build a brew type thing. I try
Really,
to
like
explore.
I
Uh,
can drink it, and I do like it, but I just prefer like first thing in the morning. I couldn't get up and have a cup of tea.
mm.
It's got to be
okay,
coffee.
very big, but this kind of thing where it's like, where are you on this?
Yeah. Oh God.
So are you a 3B or are you a C?
Oh, I think I might be a D2. or
Ooh.
like the 3B and D2 look quite similar to me.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
it quite
the
strong,
3B.
but not too milky.
Yeah.
Mm.
I couldn't drink it like that. A1. Ugh, there's that tea.
I know.
Oh, it's
Or
dark, isn't it?
or D4 looks like maybe
That's
milk
C1.
tea.
That looks horrific.
That looks like it hasn't even had a tea bag in it.
Yeah. Just looks like you've just literally shown the tea bag to the cup. It hasn't been dipped
Wafted
in
it
there. It's
over the
just
top.
gone across the top of the cup.
I'm more of a C2 kind of girl with my coffee. I like it quite strong.
Yeah.
And I don't have sugar either.
Or mine would be a C3, I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
My
okay.
coffee. I
Have you
drink milk
gone for
coffee, but
the-
it's got to be strong. Like if I go to Starbucks, I'll ask for like 3 or 4 shots of coffee. They look at me like to say,
Oh wow.
"Is this woman all there?"
That's seriously like a proper like buzz, isn't it? Having
You just
three
hold
it's
up your
nice.
baby like, this is why. This is the 4 shots that I need.
I've like when you mentioned the chart, the one thing that I thought about straight away was let me see if I can get it up. Open image and new tab. You can't really see it, but it's like skulls, different skulls,
Yeah.
and they all look the same. And underneath it will say male, female, gay, straight.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the one at the end is like a skull that's, I believe it's for monkey skull. And then
Yeah.
it says underneath people who put milk in first.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. So I can't imagine ever putting milk in first before the boiling water because you can't get the brew out properly.
Can you not?
No.
You clearly never made Bianca a cup of tea then, Rachel.
Have you not?
We like milk first. She's a
Oh,
milk
really?
person.
I don't know how it works because, like, I can't even get it out properly to get the tea nice and brewed. But I found this really cool chart of herbal tea and the different types of tea and the benefits of it. So it's kind of like natural remedy.
Okay.
So here, so different types of tea. See if I can zoom in. So we have green tea, which reduces the risk of cancer and heart disease and promotes weight loss. Oolong boosts metabolism and improves mental alertness. I use chamomile quite a lot, which reduces bloating, headache, stress, tension, and boost immune system. So
I know that people drink that before sleep, don't they?
Yeah. And then when you said about ginger for like natural remedy, it says here it's remedy for nausea, stomach upset, bloating, and sore throat.
Yeah.
So I thought it was
recently tried chai. I quite like chai. I had a chai latte the other week, and I quite like that. It's quite like a cinnamony, spicy.
Yeah. So chai reduces blood sugar levels and aids in digestion and weight loss.
Oh, maybe I need to drink more of the chai then. It's doing your weight loss every day.
Just like down it all. To be honest, that's why I have so much chamomile at home because I get really bad migraines on one side of my head. Doesn't really do much, but it does help with immune systems and stuff, which is quite helpful. But I also found out on National Tea Day, the origin of it was from China.
Yeah.
But it's actually a person, a lady, who's Portuguese named Catherine of Braganza, who popularised the beverage in 1662 in England. And she basically married King Charles II, and her dowry included several crates of loose tea. And she drank it every day in the UK, and the royal court quickly adopted the drinking tea process, including aristocrats. And I thought that was quite cool. Like, this person comes in with all her tea, and they're like, "Oh, what's that?" And she's like, "Tea, it's amazing."
I'm married.
Magic. But yeah, I thought that was quite cool, and
It is. And I always see on like social media of like Americans making tea. And because a lot of them don't have kettles, I've seen people heat everything in the microwave. Like they put milk and water in a mug and put it in the microwave to heat it up.
Oh, how does that work?
Or in a pot.
That wouldn't it make it bitter or something?
I have no idea, but it looks horrible.
Yeah. So, news story wise, who would like to begin with a story that we found?
I can go first.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
A really cool one that I found. I don't know about you two, but I love makeup. I'm a bit of a. That's kind of my thing. I do like wearing makeup. I like buying it. But I saw this thing on, it was BBC News, that women are wearing less makeup since the pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think is really interesting because, like, here, she says, before you wouldn't have caught me picking up a pint of milk without my face on. And that really resonates with me because when I started university, so about 4 years ago, I would wear false eyelashes every day, like every day without fail. Like I would wake up and I don't even know how I had the time or energy now, but every morning without fail, I would wear false eyelashes to uni.
Yeah.
But now I'm so much more like, I don't mind going out without makeup.
I can't imagine being able to do false lashes. I've done it like once or twice, but it took me way too long for it to be worth it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I can't do this, man. This is too much.
Yeah, so I end up with them stuck here. I'll put them on, and then they end up here. I'm out, and they're flapping over there.
Like waving at you.
Yeah. I don't wear makeup at all. Only if I have it professionally done. That's the only. No, I don't own a mascara. I don't own literally anything. Not even a lip gloss. The only thing I got is Vaseline.
Oh wow.
And moisturizers. But if I want makeup done, I'll go and have it done professionally because otherwise I'd look like Coco the Clown. Literally, I can't.
Yeah, I do. When I saw this news story, I did think to myself, I actually haven't really spent money on makeup as much as I used to.
Yeah, that's what it says. That makeup purchases and frequency has dropped steeply.
Oh, wow.
Almost a third.
Oh, my goodness. So even after pandemic, like the makeup, it's not really being purchased as much anymore.
Yeah. Research shows a 19% fall in makeup sales since 2019. See,
wow.
I saw something in here and I don't know whether I'll be able to find it again. But there was a thing that it was like people weren't buying lipsticks as much anymore. And to begin with, I was like, oh, why? And then I was like, oh, yeah, people were wearing masks. So why would people buy lipsticks to have it underneath masks? So, here we go. Over the pandemic, we saw a lot less colour cosmetics in our trade, lipsticks and so on. Yeah. And a lot more spent on self-care, skincare, hair care.
Yeah, literally what I was going to suggest, because like I've put more money into decent skincare products and really good hair products because I do a lot of experimentation with my hair. So really good conditioner and shampoo. And but also with skincare, I've noticed my skin's been so much better since the pandemic because I'm not putting makeup on and then taking it off and doing the whole routine regularly, and it benefited my psoriasis a lot more, definitely. And I've learned to do makeup very minimal. So all I do is like a little bit of concealer and mascara and maybe a golden eyeliner so it looks like a bit pop. But other than that, if I'm wearing a mask, like there's no point going crazy with foundation either because it rubs off the mask. And you probably got like, if I put makeup on, there'll probably be a clear line here.
Like a line where it's smudged down your face.
But yeah, that's actually quite cool.
Interesting. And it would be interesting to see if it slowly starts to increase again.
Yeah. I have a feeling it might do. I feel like there'll be the makeup scene is so big on YouTube. I've noticed that there might be someone that's like a new makeup artist, and then it's just gonna pick up again from
Yeah.
and stuff. I think so. It won't last long.
Yeah.
I've definitely changed and adapted my like makeup stuff now. Like my bag has gone from like this big to like little toys.
I'm not quite at that stage yet. I haven't even got a bag. I've just got like 2 drawers full, and it's a bit ridiculous, to be honest, because half of it I don't even use. Like I don't go like out enough to be like, oh, I'm gonna wear this sparkly eyeshadow. I could just imagine me rocking up to work with big eyeshadow in. But
yeah, to be honest, when I was really into Game of Thrones and makeup, Urban Decay released this Game of Thrones eyeshadow set, and I ended up buying it because I was like, the colors were actually really nice because I like neutral tones of like purpley, reds and stuff, and they even had greens in there, so colors that I would use that suit really pale skin. And I also got into the whole like buying eyeshadow collection because of the packaging more than the product. But I'm glad I'm like not doing that as much now. But I still got my Game of Thrones one, and that's still my prized possession type
that's
thing.
what gets people though, isn't it? Like I've seen a Friends like collection.
Oh yeah.
I know a few people that are obsessed with Friends, and they're like, oh, I want all of it. Or like Bratz has been a big thing recently. Like Bratz was popular when I was younger, but kind of blown up again. But makeup is a massive industry, isn't it? Like huge. There's some serious money in it. I just thought that was interesting.
I saw your imperfections.
So, Lindsay, have you got a story for us?
Yeah, I've sent them to you and Beth, I think.
Yeah. Let me just get it up. Right. Screen share. So I found this one here. So it's the Cristiano Ronaldo confirmed death of baby's son. This one. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So what could you tell us about this story that piqued your interest?
It's just really sad that obviously like his girlfriend's gone in to have their babies. And in the process of labour, obviously one of the babies have died. Just shows that, you know, how much money and whatever you've got, celebrity status, it can't help you when it comes to health.
Yeah.
Because obviously that baby, something went wrong with that baby, and those doctors who are medically trained tried to save that baby, and they just physically couldn't. And obviously now he's got, you know, him and his girlfriend have got to obviously pay the price with only having one child out of 2, which is really heartbreaking, because obviously every day they're going to look at that baby, they're going to be reminded of the other one, as much as, you know, it's going to be horrible. Like, but it's the truth. They're always going to be reminded that she was supposed to be a twin.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah.
Sorry about my noisiness.
I can't imagine having a situation where if you've had twins and one of them couldn't make it in the end type thing, especially if it's been 9 months waiting and you're expecting both of them to be there, and unfortunately one of them didn't make it. And it's sad to think as well that, like you said, no matter how much money or planning and intervention you have, sometimes it just doesn't work out that way.
Not enough. No, sometimes when it comes to your health, it's one thing you can buy is your health, and you can buy happiness.
I think as well, it's quite eye-opening as well. I'm not like saying that their story isn't as important, but I think for me it's really eye-opening for the fact that there'll be people like us who go through this without the support network that they've got and the financial stability that they've got. And I think that's just also something that's really important to recognize in this, that there are, I don't want to say normal, because what is normal, but people who aren't in the public
celebrity status,
who are going through this as well. And it's
you're not going to have a million billion likes for their statuses and people posting condolences and leaving flowers and gifts outside their house, and there's people who've got to go through this on a daily basis and have to deal with it themselves.
It's devastating, isn't it? I think for anyone to lose a child, it's at any point in their life, I think losing a child is just, I can't imagine heartbreak like it, to be honest.
No. I mean, when they shared their post of expressing what happened, about 117,000 people had commented expressing their condolences. So this is really hit home for probably a lot of people. So
they did a minute silence. They were playing Liverpool the next day or something.
Really?
Liverpool held a minute silence on the 7th minute for Ronaldo.
Okay.
Because obviously he's number 7, so they've held a minute silence for him out of respect, because obviously he wasn't playing that day for what's happened, which obviously he's not going to be playing, because any sort of man in their right mind is not going to play football after that's just happened to go and leave their girlfriend. If he did, then he'd be a heartless, I don't even want to say, but just going. But then some people deal with grief differently, so you can't, that could be his way of dealing with, what I mean? Like if he did choose to play, that could be his way of sort of dealing with it, because everybody deals with it in different ways.
I know there are a lot of groups out there that help people deal with the loss of a child. Like when I've been doing some research, like there's a lot of Facebook groups that you don't even have to meet in person, but just think that they're important to recognise.
There's a charity as well. My friend, I think Wishing on a Star or something it's called. I'm sure it's called Wishing on a Star. My friend lost a baby. She'd be like 10 now. And she's been involved in that charity for a long time. And she raises money for them all the time. And they, the last thing she did was for a cold cot or something it's called. So that when, basically, because obviously you haven't got very long, if something was to happen to your baby, you couldn't spend time with them, but you don't have long before obviously they're taken from you because of what happens, obviously, when they're dead. But these cold cots sort of give you a bit longer with your child than what you'd normally have. But I just think it's heartbreaking for anybody to go through it. I've seen various people, family members, close friends, go through child loss, and it's awful.
Definitely.
It's literally awful.
But it's just, I do hope, like, obviously we all give our condolences to Christian Harbour and his girlfriend about this, because it's not nice, and they're really brave as well to share it, because it's not something you want to share, and it's something you want to probably like deal with yourself, and there's no time scale of how long you grieve for that, and because they're celebrities, they probably feel obliged to share that, because people are going to keep asking questions like, where's the boy, where's this? And they feel like they have to say, so they don't have to keep deal with the questions again and again. So I really feel for them, and hopefully, like, there's
my friend said it was more. She had a big belly. She was like 7.5 months pregnant, and then she had like a few complications. Went into hospital, ended up having flu, stillborn, and then obviously people seeing her and being like, "Oh, where's the baby? Where's the?" And it's like she said, it's just like going through it all over again and again and again, having to explain to people. Like she avoided going out in the end because she just couldn't. She couldn't hack being asked every time she saw someone. oh, where's the baby? How's the baby? Because
Yeah.
obviously she didn't broadcast it over social media and things. It was kept like personal to people who
Yeah.
were very close to her. And then obviously she had to go through it. And in the end, she put on like a little photo, like her feet were on the photo. And it said that she grew her wings. And she said people stopped asking her then.
Oh,
But it took her to do that
yeah.
for people to stop asking her about the baby. And it was sad, I'll be honest. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, such a difficult thing to go through.
I can't imagine like losing a child that, you know, this is a baby or even a child. It's awful.
Well, we'll try and segue out of this to, well, it's not really a happy news or anything, but more of a debate, let's say. I saw this thing for Northampton, and it's about a gentleman who is fed up with fly tipping, and he's criticised the council over a 5-year battle to clean up a notorious fly tipping site next to a major Northampton road. And it's right next to Riverview Caravan Park in Cohen. I don't know how you say that, Cohen. Oh, okay.
Yeah, weird. Cookno.
I would never have gotten that at all from how that felt. That's me going, but it's basically westbound on the A45. And when he said that it's been a problem for over 5 years, and if it was dealt with 5 years ago, it would probably only cost like £1,000, like 6,000, but now it's in the 10,000 for how long they've left it. And when I saw on the map how big this thing is, it's huge. And I can't believe they've left it so long to the point where it's piled up to that amount. And also, he says that over the summer, there is an obvious smell from where the rubbish is coming from.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know if you guys ever had problems in your area with fly tipping at all growing up. No. So I used to live down by Briar Hill, and it's everywhere I go, I would always see a brand new sofa or a mattress or random trolleys that have escaped Tesco's car parks. And also just general, like, people would just leave bin sacks and then put them in the trees or something. And it's kind of like, it's frustrating because you'll call and sometimes they'll do it straight away or not. But as soon as it's cleared up, it happens again where someone's like, okay, I'm going to throw away this furniture piece that I don't want anymore, that's all broken apart. And I'm like, for God's sake. And I even have it now where I live in an elderly resident area, so it's all bungalows, so we can't physically do much to like keep our place clean. But we also have like a big hedge, so people will just throw things over so it doesn't look like you can see it if you're just passing the road. But we see it because you open the front door, we got this field and a hedge, and it's all on the little grass bit. And I always call up to say, look, it's happening. Can't we do something like have a big bin or something? And they're like, no, but we'll keep cleaning it up. So do you have anything like that at all where you live, Lindsay, in Cardiff? Is it Cardiff?
Yeah, Cardiff. Yeah, there's like lots of like lanes and like areas where it's like quite quiet.
Yeah.
So where I live like is on the outskirts of Cardiff. It's in between Cardiff and Newport. So in between the two cities, we've got like this road that sort of leads to it. And it's like a village that's on the other side of the road, but it's like a country village. It's called Marshfield. and it's all like lanes and reams and all different like sort of really, really quiet spots. And you find everybody like goes there and fly tips the rubbish. A lot of the lanes now, they've put bollards at either end, so you can't get vehicles down them. But then obviously there are like road lanes that they go down and they're quite derelict, so they just literally dump it in the middle of the road or on the sides of the road, just anywhere really. Like, the street I live in is so quiet. It's the same. It's full of elderly. And like if my kids drop a sweet paper on the floor, they're knocking my door to tell me that my kids have dropped a sweet paper on the floor.
Yeah.
Or they've left something in my garden that they shouldn't have, that it looks like rubbish. And can you clean the garden? It's full of rubbish. And it's like, no, it's their toys. Then they think like, yeah, it's, they won't have mess in my street, literally. They're all sweeping the road and
I like the fact that they're like on top of it at least.
oh yeah, they are. My kids can't even go out and play.
Yeah.
Secretly, you're thinking, yeah, I'd get rid of these toys if I could, but
it's literally, it's my daughter will go out in the street and literally give it 5 minutes. My neighbour will be knocking the door. She's out in the street. Well, yeah, she's playing. She's 7. What do you want her to do? But she's making a mess. But she's playing. Leave her alone. She's not making a mess. She's playing. But she's got her toys out. It's not like it's rubbish all over the road. Oh, they're crazy, old people.
I'm the same. I live in a quite small village, so there's quite a lot of country roads going in and out, and you'll come home from work and it'll be empty, and then when you go to work there'll be so much stuff because they come at night because there's no one drives down them.
No.
It's not a busy road, and then there'll be like a fridge or
Just
like random like the other day there was just loads of rubble, like just stones, and it was like this big mound of stuff with a microwave box on the top of it. It's like how do you get away
the
with
microwave box on the top, like it's the castle top, like
chairs everywhere, like craziness. But
they've put cameras in like in the places now where a lot of people are fly tipping regularly. The council have put like hidden cameras.
I know in Northampton we've got the group called the Litter Wombles. I don't know if you've heard of them, Rachel.
Yeah.
But they're just a group of people, members of the public, who meet up and go litter picking. And they do, I know some people do quite big ones, right, where they get a lot of stuff. And I know that they're constantly reporting fly tipping to the council.
Yeah, it is really frustrating when it's like the people that get most of it, I feel like, are the ones in like elderly, quiet areas, because it's just like they probably think, well, they're not gonna be able to do anything about it. Like they probably won't even be going out the house to be like, oi, because it's weird. Like not weird, but can be quite intimidating if you see loads of people just tipping out a bin, like a refrigerator or like a fridge freezer, and you're like, well, what am I going to do with that now? And you keep reporting it, but it's just there's only so much the council can do to keep on top of it. But if they keep littering, like they need to put like a proper system in place where they can catch them and find out who's doing it and just put a fine on them somehow. I don't know how that's going to be possible.
Have you actually got back to that man, or have they not said anything about it?
Let's see. So
I bet he's not the only resident stuff about it, because there must be more people that live in Cooknow that are like, I've had enough of this now.
Yeah, so he says the problem is getting worse and worse, but the council don't seem bothered. West Northamptonshire Council has even said to me, fly tip is totally unacceptable, but it's doing nothing about it.
Yeah.
And he's getting fed up with it, and he's getting anxiety and the constant no answers to his questions.
Yeah.
So it seems like they agree. All the council can do is close the slip road. He's suggesting how to clean it up. but no real action is being taken place. They acknowledge it and they're like, okay, yeah, we'll put it on the system.
Yeah.
But nothing's being done.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating. I can understand his frustration when he's been complaining like on and off. He's probably not doing it every day, but like once every like 2-3 months, and you see something new come on, like, oh my god, there's a fence now. Like, sort this out. Like, it's getting worse. And the fact it's been 5 years down the line and nothing's been done is a bit. It's frustrating. I can definitely see from his point of view, because you can't do it on your own. So you need like a group of people, like Wombles would be great. They're called Wombles, right?
Yeah, Litter Wombles.
It's like,
Facebook group.
Yeah, remember you have a Womble. So, yeah. But I also found this. Are you quite up to date with things to do with Boris Johnson and the party gate situation?
Yeah, I saw that they were having fines, and then people were calling for him to resign. Although we all know that was never going to be something that he was going to do.
No.
But I haven't really looked at anything recently.
Okay, so I'm kind of learning as I go with educating myself with politics. But basically, the government will attempt to delay a decision over an investigation to whether Boris Johnson misled MPs about the lockdown party. So they want to hold off voting whether to be conservative. Like, I believe they said at one point they would rather not vote at all or vote Labour. So they want to turn around and say, well, let's wait until the police come back with their reports and their findings, and then we'll put together a voting situation, because they think that having all the evidence might change their mind. But in my head, I'm thinking it's not really going to make a difference when Boris has admitted these things himself on many occasions and has contradicted himself as well. So this video is only about a minute long, but it's like the perfect summary of what he's been saying.
Today I received a fixed penalty notice from the Metropolitan Police. I want to begin by repeating my apologies to everybody for misjudgments that I've made, that we may have made in number 10, and nobody had told me that what we were doing was, as you say, against the rules. I believed implicitly that this was a work event. But Mr. Speaker, with hindsight, I should have sent everyone back inside. I should have found some other way to thank them. This is where I live and it's where I work. Those are meetings of people at work, talking about work. I can tell you once again that I certainly broke no rules. All that is being looked into. What I could tell the right honourable gentleman is that all guidance was followed completely during number 10. I can tell you that the guidelines were followed at all times.
Well, did you investigate that yourself? Have you satisfied yourself?
I have satisfied myself that the guidelines were followed at all times. I can understand how infuriating it must be to think that the people who have been setting the rules have not been following the rules, Mr. Speaker, because I was also furious to see that clip.
So yeah, like,
go on.
So why So with all of that and the evidence behind it, why are they wanting to
It's fear, isn't it? They're afraid that all of the Conservative MPs are going to vote Labour because they're peed off about the parties, which I think is fair enough. They're all well in their rights to be annoyed. But I don't know what difference it's going to make them pushing it back. Like, what other evidence are the Met going to be able to provide that's going to do a 360 on it and be like, actually, no. They would have to turn around with solid evidence saying there weren't any parties, which is not going to happen because, as Boris said himself, he's received the fixed penalty.
Yeah.
Which, like, there's no going back from that, I don't think.
No, I think, like, the overthinking part of me is thinking, are they putting a plan together where they're buying the police by making up evidence that isn't true, to be like, see,
is there an element of corruption there?
This is true, like corrupting the stuff, because I can't think of anything, like, whatever they do, it's not going to change the fact that Boris has already put his foot in it like 20 times.
Yeah.
And it's not going to change the fact of that happening at all.
Yeah.
So I was really confused by that because I'm trying to like learn and get a bit more aware of what's happening with the government.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, is it really a bad thing to vote Labour in general? Because they're kind of using it as a punishment, aren't they? So what's the punishment for? Is it for Boris if they vote Labour?
To be honest, I'm not 100% sure. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not very good when it comes to politics, which is really bad. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So what do you think about this, Lindsay, with trying to delay the inevitable pretty much?
I just think it's sort of a joke. Like, he says he doesn't know what he was doing and he shouldn't have done it. Well, it's a bit late for all that now.
Yeah.
Like, I just think he knew what he was doing at the time. He didn't realise he was breaking the rules. Well, he was the one who set the rules.
Yeah.
So how can he say that he didn't know he was breaking the rules when he set the rules himself?
Exactly.
But like, we were all punished for things. We weren't allowed, to do anything.
Yeah.
Like, my sister came to my house when we were in lockdown because she was going stir crazy with her kids. So like, we sort of like kept our household together. So like, it was the only households to mix.
Yeah.
My neighbour phoned the police, and I had a £500 fine for having my sister in my house.
Yeah.
But it's okay for him to literally physically have all these different people from different houses in the same house. Whereas me and my sister, literally, when the lockdown was going on, we just like obviously stayed together. But like, she'd come here or I'd go there just for a bit of sanity. Because when you've got kids and like you're on your own sort of thing, like I'd go crazy, and so would she. So we just stuck together. And like I said to her in the end, I said, it's like, after that, I said, you might as well come and live here. So she came and stayed with me then for like nearly 2 months, so that nobody could say anything, because we were, like a co-household. We were all living together. It was an absolute nightmare, and it was crazy because between us there were 6 kids.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, obviously. My youngest niece she's just turned 1.
Yeah.
And then my nephew is 2. And then my other niece is 14. So with my kids as well, it was absolute carnage. But it was the only way that we could sort of
to provide that support
without
system.
Without people saying, oh, well, they're they're not social distancing and they're mixing, they don't live in the same house and blah, blah. And it was like, well, nobody knew our situation. But one of my neighbours decided to phone the police because we were in the garden with the kids, and they came and they fined me for it.
Yeah. I remember a neighbour, well, not a neighbour, someone I used to work with, they surprised their mother for their birthday, but instead of going round to their house and going in, they stayed in the car and drove to the house and then unwound the window, the mum had their window open, and she's like, "Happy birthday!" and got the sign out, and the daughters were there. And then I think they were there for about 10, 15 minutes, and then went home. And then the police were called to complain at the lady's house, the mum, to say like there's been a party, and she was
Yeah.
like, no,
that wasn't.
birthday.
Yeah, so people get jealous. It's sad.
Yeah, and it like they were, in my opinion, I think they did the best to, because at the time I don't think we really knew what was going on.
No,
at
I
that
think
stage.
everyone was so uncertain, weren't
Yeah.
they? There was so much confusion as well about what you could and couldn't do. Like there was so much blurring of lines, and like
Yeah.
what was acceptable for one person like couldn't be for another person, and like the whole thing with like bubbles, and I
Yeah,
think everyone was just so
the
lost. And
bubbles made no sense to me.
But now they've squashed everything and everyone's catching it.
Yeah,
mm,
and it is frustrating because like I get angry with how much of a hypocrite he is, because he's there on the tannoy basically expressing how angry he was that someone else wasn't following the guidelines, and he's going to look into this and stuff like that. But in that time, he was doing the same thing, and then claiming it was a work situation, not a party to celebrate his birthday that his wife planned as a surprise. Like, for cheese and wine business meeting. Like, come on. Like, get a grip, Boris. It really frustrates me, and it gets me more angry when I hear, like, Lindsay's story and people who've been through, like, following the rules, but still get penalised in some shape or form.
My nan died just after, like, not so much the lockdown, because we were still in lockdown, but, like, Christmas, we weren't allowed to see her, and she died in the February, so we were still in sort of a lockdown, really. And my nan died in amongst all that, and we couldn't go and visit my nan.
Yeah.
But he can have parties. It's like my uncle is dying now, and we're only allowed to go in one at a time, and there's like 50 of us going to the hospital. So it's like getting to see him, you've got to book a slot. Like you sat there for hours upon hours to be able to see him, because he's in this ward, and literally they will only allow one person at a time onto the whole ward. So you've got to wait for that person to come completely out of the ward to be able to go in, and it takes like 15 minutes to walk into the ward without the 10 minutes you spend in there. So you're waiting at least an hour for each family member to come in and out. It's like, I've got to go there today. I'll be there all day to go and see him. And it like, it's horrible. Like, they, you know, he's dying. Like, to be honest, it doesn't matter if he catches COVID now, he's dying. So COVID is not gonna, you know, sort of, he's not gonna, if he catches COVID, he's not gonna make it through COVID anyway. It's not gonna make a difference for him. Like, he's been given 48 hours to live, and they're still saying that we're only allowed one person at a time to go and visit him. He's had his driver put in with his medication, so he's constantly out of pain. So like, you know, he's literally hours away, and they won't allow us all to be able to go in and see him. But I did say, I don't care, I'm going in. I don't care, I'm not. They're gonna have to drive me out of there, because I'm not doing it today.
That's the thing. Like, during COVID, I had a friend who was in hospital, not because of COVID, but they ended up getting pancreatitis. And that really, it basically killed them. They couldn't get out on the other end. And they were in hospital for about 8 months consistently dealing with this. And there was a period where they were getting better, but then they went downhill again. And it was really hard to even get a chance to say hi in hospital, because I'm classed as high risk, so I can't risk going in the first place. And they have a big family as well, so I kind of put myself back, because obviously family goes first. Like, if they want to see their daughter, their sister, whatever, they're going to see them. I can always FaceTime her and stuff. But unfortunately, if I knew that I could have gone and with rules been set in place for sure, then I would have been able to go and say hi before she passed away.
Yeah, I think people are well in their right to be absolutely furious, because during that time where he was having these parties, there were so many people suffering, and I think there's
People
no
are dying alone in hospital because they're not allowed. They weren't allowed visitors at all on certain wards.
Yeah.
And they were dying alone in hospital, and for what? While he's living life. I think it's disgusting. I think he should be ashamed, and I think he should resign. I don't think he should be Prime Minister after what he's done.
I feel like a lot of people share your sentiments, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's my main thing. It's not so much for like him like breaking the rules, because I know so many people who've broke the rules, but like my thing is for the people who suffered because of it, like people whose family members died, like my nan died, and like now for me, like not being able to visit my family because it's still COVID, but they're having Ed Sheeran in Cardiff city centre, 75,000 people in a stadium together, but you can't have more than one person in a hospital room.
Yeah.
Like, how does that work? Like, please tell me, how does that work? It's like when I gave birth to my son, I was only allowed my partner there, but then you can go to the pub, you can go nightclubbing, you can go for meals, you don't have to wear a mask, you can go anywhere you physically want to go, like now, without any restrictions. But when it comes to the things that matter, they won't allow you to do it, and it's all control. I think it's disgusting.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, we'll end on that note at least. Just wanted to say thank you guys for joining me today. And tomorrow we have a volunteer day for anyone who's interested to be a volunteer at the yard. And it's from, is it 4:30?
4 till 6:30.
4 till 6:30. And if you want to come by, please do. It's down on Gold Street in Northampton, and we're called the Yard. Hopefully I'll be there. I couldn't say that I was before because I tested positive on COVID, but the line was barely visible. I took one yesterday and it looked like a hairline, but I'm going to take one today and see if there's any improvement. If there's no line, I'll be there. If not, I'll be there in thoughts. I'll be thinking about you guys, and hopefully
you'll be there in May, won't you? You'll be there for the May one.
Yeah.
So if we don't see you tomorrow, we'll see you in May.
But yes, we would love anyone to come down who have any skills, any interest. We love to have a collective group of people where we can work together and have a different variety of people where we can spread out for more as well, if that makes sense. So anyone who's a handy guy, like a handyman, that would be something really useful to teach the youth about being able to fix your own problems with plumbing and whatever, or if you've got a hole in the wall, how to fix the hole in the wall. Anything as well, not little, but anything from that to being a good storyteller who loves gaming. We ran gaming sessions on Saturday, so I'd love to do that again, hopefully. And even sporty people, like anyone, like it says here, and we'd love to see you tomorrow. But yeah, yes, and online tomorrow we have Jasmine's story, Giver of Stars.
Yeah.
And on the following Monday it'll be Beth's story, The Last Wish, and then 4:30, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and as always, we have Steve with his gaming. I'm pretty sure he games every night, doesn't he?
Yeah, I want to say he's still playing Star Wars, but I could be completely wrong. I watch it without even knowing what it is sometimes. I'll just be like, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what the aim of this is, but here we go.
But yeah, thank you so much for joining me today, guys, and thank you so much for watching at home. And if you are interested in volunteering, we hope to see you there tomorrow. Take care, stay safe, and have a good week. See you
Have
later.
a nice weekend, everyone. See you later.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.